Time now for today's Focus Report, and today we are in Argentina. A recent university study reports that 1.4 million Argentinians have dropped below the poverty line this year. Our reporters Claire Williams and Karina Shabor have been to speak to Argentinians who say reforms by President Macri are too much too soon, and they are struggling to adapt to his abrupt changes.
Et voilà.
10 years ago, Jean-Edouard de Rochebouet bought a vineyard in Mendoza. He plans to produce 600,000 bottles this year. 2/3 will be exported. So when President Mauricio Macri lifted taxes on exported goods, Jean-Edouard said it felt like a miracle.
To export my wine, I had to pay 5% in taxes. President Macri got rid of that on December the 10th last year as soon as he became president. Getting back that 5% has made us more profitable. It's huge.
The Frenchman says he's now able to invest in his estate and buy new machinery. In the office next door, another Frenchman is pleased with the president's pro-business policies. Vincent Chevalier runs a travel agency. The previous government imposed exchange controls which kept the peso artificially strong. Now they've been lifted, the currency has weakened and tourists can spend more. And Argentinians no longer have to pay a 35% surcharge when they use their bank cards abroad.
For 2 or 3 years, my plan to build a hotel in a vineyard was suspended because foreign investors were reluctant to invest in Argentina. I think now that Argentina is opening up to international markets, and that will help us and allow us to get the investors back on board so we can build our hotel.
Argentina is back in business. That's the message the new government is trying to sell. President Macri has reversed the protectionist policies of Cristina Kirchner, his predecessor, once known as the new Evita. He invited investors from around the world to a forum in Buenos Aires and told them Argentina is a safe and viable place to do business.
Billions of dollars of investment have been promised already. But it's not as if a Czech transforms overnight into a new factory. Measures that are favorable to investment, employment, and development need to be taken.
The radical shift to pro-business economics hasn't pleased everyone. Macri has cut state subsidies for electricity, gas and water. The president says he has no choice if he's to reduce Argentina's budget deficit. But many relied on the subsidies, like at the club Francisco Piavoni. For €3 a month, the club offers football coaching and music classes to children and teenagers.
We need to keep these young people busy. We need to get them to do sports, teach them values so that they stay on the right path and don't get involved in crime, drugs, or any kind of bad situation. It's important for them, but also for the rest of society.
Since the state subsidy was cut, the club's electricity bill has skyrocketed. If the club can't pay, it will have to close.
In 8 months, the bill has gone up to 16,000 pesos. Before, we weren't even paying 1,000. They tell us to raise the amount we charge for membership, but we can't do that. We're here to get young people off the streets, and if they don't have any money, we can't exclude them.
They say the government only looks after rich Argentinians and foreign investors.
This is what their politics is about, ending taxes on mining and agricultural exports. So instead of collecting thousands of pesos to finance subsidies, the state is saying it's up to the people to pay.
Luciano has teamed up with the president of a community club union. Together, they've organized several protests against the subsidy cuts.
Look, we've been fighting for 4 or 5 months, and so far the government hasn't listened to us. They're trying to convince us that raising electricity and gas prices is necessary. But can you imagine your bills going up by 1,000%?
Luciano and Claudio are not alone. Day after day, protesters gather outside the presidential palace in Buenos Aires. On one side, civil servants angry at the government's decision to lay off 70,000 state employees. On the other, small-scale farmers who've seen their production costs soar and might have to give up their lands.
Since the start of the year, the peso has lost a lot of value, and that seriously affected our production. Prices are rising. Inflation is at 40%.
To draw attention to themselves, the farmers are handing out 20,000 kilos of vegetables.
The price of fertilizer is in dollars, not pesos. We have to buy it and it's very expensive. Nowadays it's very difficult for us to live off what we grow.
People here have travelled from across the city for a few onions and some lettuce. Macri says Argentinians need to hold tight while the economy recovers. But that's not happened yet. And as he chases after foreign investors, many Argentinians say they have been forgotten.